me, keep me alive. I almost said Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Like Monday for some reason. I don't know. Oh, it's weird. But Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
know.
It is here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad to be back on the show. I have the Maplewaves with me, and some of them are in with the Sunny Days guys that I had on recently. It's kind of like I don't know what it is, but who was first to become a group? Was it the Maplewaves?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Back in 2010
Yeah.
in Virginia.
Is there another Maplewaves on Apple Music? Is there like a hip hop group or like a electronic group, or is that you guys doing something else?
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look here again because I meant to
Let's
mention.
listen to it.
Yeah, put it up, man. Because like now, if we got
By all means, yeah, I should have looked this up before we went live, but who cares? This is why we do it live, right?
We did the Google search when we first started, but that was holy crap. That was 13 years ago now. So things may have changed. The most prescient thing at the time was a Canadian wakeboarding team, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, we kind of we were in competition with them, and then there was another I think an advertising conglomerate, and we were at an internet war with them for a
You
minute.
wouldn't think
But now,
the Canadians would have a wakeboarding team. You think that they had a snowboarding team. That would make way more sense.
it's a seasonal sport, but they love it.
They're not very seasonal up there, though. I mean, it's either cold or it's not. I don't know.
They go hard when they do it.
I can't remember what I was looking at. I look at so many things all the time. Maybe it wasn't you.
Well, that's just another legal battle that we have to avoid. So,
well, because there are bands that are, I guess it's like the name Smith, or something that's very well, everybody has it, and you'll look on their like on Apple Music or wherever, and there'll be another band of the exact same thing. Who was that? Somebody, but this one band I'm thinking of, I've had them on as a guest, and like the other band was around in the '90s. And it was that really, really 90s radio rock stuff. It was terrible. Like, obviously, I'll never have them on my show, but it was. I guess they couldn't get around. There's something with. It was just Apple Music that they couldn't. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works.
No, that happens.
Anywho,
you get cornered. And they tell you it's the best thing, and then
yeah, those corporate people, right?
I got a rap project called Fleetwood Mac.
What is it?
I'm working on. It's called Fleetwood Mac.
I think that's
on
already, isn't it?
I know, but it's part of it.
Are you going to be doing Fleetwood Mac covers?
But rapping them.
Huh?
But rapping them.
Wait. Okay. Oh, I forgot to turn this thing's new, so I keep forgetting this. Okay. All right. We're good now. I mean, we've been live the whole, since we started.
It's official now, though.
It is. Yeah. It's the marquee I've had since I started, but this is like maybe the 4th episode of this thing, so I'm still not used to turning it on. I have so many things to do already. I just, I added something else just to drive myself crazy, I guess. I don't know.
Who was the first band that we were listening to? Or the music that was on?
That was the Wearing Hands. The Wearing Hands are from Beckley, West Virginia, or somewhere around the southern part of the state. And they actually, I interviewed them in my living room a long time ago, back when I had a crappy camera. I owe them another visit to the show because it was just, back when I first started, I didn't have a microphone. I held a phone to a microphone that was attached to a PA in this room, and that's what you heard. It was awful, god awful, But you gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. Speaking of starting somewhere, you started in 2010. Were all of you in this group in 2010?
Me and Logan were, but Harry was not. Harry, when did you join?
That was to see how August. I started in 2015, I think. After I went to a baseball game and Logan asked me some questions about some bands I had on my shirt. And after that, I started drumming with him. We went through a couple of members and lineups. And then just as a 2-piece, then Nathan got jealous, moved down, was like, I'd like to now be in the band too. And I was like, Okay, we'll let him in. We had to try out. He almost didn't make it. But at the end of the day, we're glad he's here.
Are you guys close, like sitting near each other, like room wise?
Absolutely. Nathan came like a dog and sat right in front of me. Like, even though I was definitely here first.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I just didn't want it for the
I don't want it for the
Bothers
people,
me.
so I'm gonna leave.
before I know it, the hecklers are going to be joining, and they're going to
Yeah. Go sit in your car, man.
I will go. I will go.
Staying outside. It's not that cold out today. Really not.
Oh,
that
for us it is. We got
It's
snow.
very cold.
Yeah, it's god awful. I can't wait for the warm weather. I hate wintertime. I absolutely hate wintertime. But I'm living in the wrong place to hate wintertime because it's home though. You didn't have to go out. Well, I guess
It's still working.
the drummer always has to go out in the cold, right?
I'm used to it.
Well, I
you're-
was I forget what I was doing exactly. Well, I know what I was doing. I was cooking. And I got your album and I turned it on and my roommate Mike, I don't know what he was doing. He was in the shower in the bathroom doing something, probably grooming. He has no hair, but probably grooming. But I just turned it on and I cranked it up because I was like, I'm grooving, I'm chopping vegetables and shit, and I'm like, yeah, this is, and he comes in and he goes, who's this? I'm like, the Maplewaves, and he's like, that's kind of Pink Floydish. And I'm like, it is. You're right. It is Pink Floydish. Pink Floyd-ish.
I'll take that all day.
It's Pink Floyd-ish because Pink Floyd's kind of like you can really get. Well, it depends on what kind of substances you're on, but you can really get spaced out on that stuff, and you kind of like lose your train of thought. But you can like I almost chopped my fingers off losing. I was in the groove, I started chopping like this, it was like I don't know, it was crazy.
Mhm.
But
So when we do a physical, you think we should put a disclaimer on the back of it?
No,
Stay away
no.
from sharp implements. And
no.
heavy
I
machinery.
do that regardless of what's on. I just. But I like to groove. I was telling the Sunny Days guys, I didn't groove at that show because I had never been to the bridge, and I went by myself, so I didn't. I don't want to show off my moves too early either. I'll do it the second time. Especially not knowing you guys or anything. I didn't want to do that, but I will. I will next time I see them.
Yeah, please.
That's awesome. You said that though, because I love the Pink Floyd album Animals, which is kind of a little bit of an odder one. All the songs are really long and not radio friendly. It's so
Right.
great. You gotta settle into it. But no, that's high praise indeed.
Since we're talking about this and kind of what you kind of sound like, what are your all's influences collectively as a band and maybe also individually?
Oh wow, that's one of my favorite questions about this band in general, just because I think we all come from so many different backgrounds. I came from like punk DIY metal was like my origins, and then I moved to Alabama, spent 8 years there, and I just got to play with like some of the best blues and soul players all of a sudden. And for Logan and Nathan, I know they have two way different backgrounds, and the fact that we like all these different bands and come together. I would say right now my biggest influence is a band called Everything Everything. I've had them on replay consistently. Like I've been probably annoying the other two guys with how much I love this just one band. Because I do that. I just hook onto a band and I'm just that. But I'll let the other guys answer their influences.
Cool.
Yeah, I think for this project, what we started out doing a lot of the time was kind of like modern Appalachian folk type stuff. And then we moved on to include more members and more instruments, and it kind of became more like of a rocky version of that, or a more pinky version of that.
Pinky Floyd.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it kind of just grew from there. We kind of just grew with the members that we played with, and just kept doing it, kept writing songs. It's really just about the songs.
Yeah. As far as my influences, James Taylor. That's where I first like really wanted to learn to play the guitar. The Sweet Baby James. I heard that and I was like, okay, that's something I really want to do. And so started doing like acoustic guitar stuff as a kid, and then I met Nathan when we were 13 years old and started like playing music together and figuring out electric guitar and all those kinds of things. And me and Nathan have always kind of had what's the term, codependent relationship musically. Where we've both been growing and learning off of each other and throwing shit at each other, and it's been great. But that's been since we were like 13 years old, and then, like I said, 2010 was when we really kind of developed into what we're calling the Maplewaves. But as far as influences, yeah, I love me some old like Pink Floyd and those kinds of things. Fleet Foxes was another like big trigger for us as far as like what we wanted to do, and Iron and Wine, those things at the time, and moving forward, Kings of Leon and getting a little heavier, and these days we're trying to figure out what exactly we're going for new stuff, and so like I've been listening to some old country and some hip hop and like some other stuff, just trying to figure out what we want to do for what's next.
How is that going? Are you starting to get? Have you been able to experiment as a band, some new things lately?
That's one of the fun things. We get together every week. We've gotten together every week for the past basically for the last 6 years on and off. At least Harry and I have. And then like he mentioned, we had other bandmates at one time here in Pittsburgh, and then Nathan joined us in 2019, I want to say, up here again, since we've been playing together back home in Virginia. He moved up here to start playing music again. And we've just been refining and figure out from there.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. I want to play Empaths just so viewers can kind of get a handle on what we're talking about here.
Cool.
What's Empaths about? Is it a certain story, something that affected you, something that was good? What's this?
So I get the privilege of writing a lot of the stuff that we end up playing, and so Empaths is it's a reflection on a lot of the different musicians and artists we've gotten to play with over the years. And we find so many times that artists are really people, a lot of times they're living on the fringe of things, but they're really pursuing the things that they love, and the things that they love so often come out of their pursuits of humanity and of discovering themselves, but also showing that to other people. And so the whole thing with Empaths is it's talking about broke people going from town to town, singing songs, doing their thing, but they're doing it for the love of the art. They're not doing it for, the money. And as long as they make ends meet, as long as they can, get a little bit of food at the end of the day and find a bed, people are okay. And I admire that so much. That's not something that I've ever been able to quite pursue. I've never been able to do that to that extent of touring for a long amount of time. We've done shows one on the other kind of thing, but never for that. I've always had to do the day job thing. And so it's something I admire, but also something that's I think it's a really hard life, and I think it's something, there's something noble about it.
Yeah, you're right. Just thinking about people, seeing these bands, especially now they're starting to go out on the road because it's spring's coming up, summer and festivals and things. But some of these bands they're doing back to back to back to back to back for weeks, and it's like I would miss home for one thing. I'm a home guy. I like to be home. I travel quite a bit, but I always come back home after a short time, and I don't know how they do it. I really don't. Just because you would get sick of everybody that's around you for one thing. I would. Everybody gets tired of everybody. I mean, you're all friends and overall, but it's
not all the time.
Yeah, at some point there's a breaking point. It's like you are annoying as shit. Like everybody gets like that. Some people. Some people don't need to say anything.
There was also a time for us too where we were all employed together as well, and that was like an extra level of testing our patience with each other and and the songwriting process, how it changed from that as well. But we really put this band through the ringer, and like we've come up with some really good songs before.
And you're still doing it too. So yeah.
Yeah, and because that's the thing, we just had a show at Club Cafe on Sunday night, which was like pretty awesome show for us. It was a really different lineup. We had some chill bands, Ty Danzuzo and Unc D, traveling musician, and it's just one of those things. Like I was saying earlier, Pittsburgh is good for just a show out of nowhere. That's just good to mix it up and just feeling really good after the show and ready to get back it now and start writing some new stuff.
Let's take a listen to Impasse, and then we'll talk about employment. We'll see what you guys do if you're willing to talk about that. So sometimes whoops, sorry. Let's go listen to it. It's a live show. Who cares? I messed up.
That I have been.
love those guitar sounds. I don't know what pedals you're using or whatever, but that's it's so. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I play music too, but it's so hard to explain what that makes you feel like. It's so soothing, and it blends. You know, what I mean, I don't know what. It's almost like a if you're playing keyboards or piano and you're pressing the pedal down, you know, so it holds the notes and they all kind of blend together. That's it's so peaceful.
It's
Yeah, so
very much
producing-
like that. Yeah.
Producing credit goes to Mr. Nathan Ritz there in the car.
About to ask,
Oh.
where did you guys go to record? And it's everything sounds great. I can hear everything.
Thank you.
Going on in you know.
Right here in this house, we recorded, and Nathan produced it on his Mac. So
That's something that's big. That's big. You know, since I started doing this, gosh, almost 3 years ago now. You know, more and more people are opting out of going to an actual studio, which sucks for studios. But you know, it's available to do at home. You know, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not that savvy with DAWs and the tracks and all that. I can't do that stuff. I probably could, but I got a podcast to run. I don't have time for that. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
that's the biggest thing. It's the time.
Yeah.
That really
What
is the investment.
what if you don't mind me asking, what DAW do you use for to record with?
I use Logic Pro with my Mac, and I've used that since maybe really since it came out. I think
Yeah.
way back. in
I
the
have
day,
the free version on my Mac, and I don't know what to do with it.
It's fun, and it's probably the
dabble.
most user friendly.
Mhm.
And so if you're gonna learn one, that's the one to learn. I don't know. The other one, Pro Tools, are more industry standard, but I think Logic's more user friendly.
We have a not to take away from you guys because it's your show. The band project that I'm in, our first single comes out Friday.
Oh,
And,
congratulations!
we
Sweet.
are we and my buddy Rob, he plays bass on the track just because we didn't have a bass player, and but he's producing it all, and he's doing his through Reaper.
Okay.
He swears
Yeah,
by Reaper. He loves Reaper.
I've messed with Reaper. Reaper's nice because I think it's open source and it's free, and so people are always updating it. And
Right.
yeah,
I've messed with Reaper a little bit. Like I said, well, make me, just make me a project that has all our stuff on it that we just recorded, but make it so that I can mess with it and it doesn't mess up anything you've already done. And he did, and that was kind of cool because I was able to go through and kind of. I'm a hands-on person, Don't give me instructions to read because I ain't gonna read them anyway. I need to see it in action or tinker with it and see. Like GarageBand. GarageBand's kind of like that too. You can just sit there and just tinker with it forever, and it's
That's what I do. Yeah, I'm trying to get into all that stuff. I build stuff with loops out of GarageBand, and that's just where I've hit my level where I'm like, this is really comfortable for me. Like I have Logic in my bag, ready to download on my computer. I even bought a hard drive that connects into my MacBook Air so I can use the disc. I have it all ready to go. I just need to hit play, put the right disc in, and go. But just having really a lot of fun with GarageBand, especially because I have it on my phone and my laptop. And those are two different monsters
and you can.
too.
I think you can go I think they call it Jam Band or something, where if somebody else has it on their phone, you can have a jam session. I don't know. It's just not the same as having a jam session with real instruments. You know what I mean? That's
Definitely not. But it's such a, even for someone like me. So I can play all these world instruments and sit there. There's an option where they almost play themselves, and I'm just kind of moving the slider back and forth, and I'm having the best time of my life because I don't know. I've always been fascinated by music, but I just can't sit down and learn the theory. So
yeah. I mean, I had some friends that actually did in college. They were music majors, and they would sit and do that theory stuff. And I was like, God, why do you put yourself through this torture? But now they're music teachers, they're educators. And that's what they wanted to do, but just one course they had to do. I mean, a few of them are performance majors and stuff, but that's. I mean, I can't even read if I sit down and somebody gives me the chords to a song, I can't read the how it's written either in tablature or chords like a music notes. I can't read it like that. It's got to be tablature. It's got to be. I guess some people are different. I don't know. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, whatever works, whatever gets you playing music.
But
Yeah.
music's exciting, you know. I mean, I know it's a music podcast and we're all musicians and things, but I mean, it's exciting. Even for people that don't even play music, it's got it. They get something out of it too, you know.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
that listening to Impasse, you know, in all your stuff, actually, it's a I don't know if utopia is the right word. Is that the right word I'm thinking of? Just kind of like a good feeling throughout. I don't know if
I'll
utopia.
take that all day.
Yeah,
So
it is a good feeling.
one of the great things about that album is like Logan said, Nathan came around 2019. We went into the pandemic basically with an album like almost like we had the idea and everything. We just kept putting it together, and then
Egg form.
the initial shutdowns happened, and we're like, okay, well we have time. Let's keep this polishing, and we met a couple Zoom meetings, and then like since we all worked together, it wasn't really an issue, so we continued having practice, and then basically we had this time of like really working on an album intensely where like that's all we were doing for months. We weren't doing shows, we weren't writing anything. It was just this album. And when it came out, what November 2021
20.
2020. Oh, okay.
Oh no, 2021. You're right.
21.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and like it came out at I don't know, just this right time because it had this extra time in the oven that I don't think it would have gotten otherwise. And I think that really helped that album. And it's a really unique time because I think at one point I can't remember who said it, but I was like, we got to put the paintbrush down because like we were adding keys and like, what about this part? What if we have like a very subtle bass line coming? I'm like, first off, Logan's feet are the bassist. Like
I know exactly how that is. I mean, just one song. I mean, we have four or five in the pocket, you know, for later on in the year. But just on this one song, it's just like every time I get a version of it to listen to, you know, how's this sound? It's like, well, this, you know, just like listening to it, it's not perfect, but it's not ever going to be perfect. And you can sit and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it until your I don't know, your ears bleed, and just. It'll never be okay to say, yeah, go ahead and release it, you know? And that's why I told Rob, I said, okay, let's set a date, you know, how much time do you need to do all your stuff? And, you know, what do you need from us? And he said, I need at least a couple of weeks, maybe 3.
And the extra pressure put on Nathan too, because he was coming to us at practice and being like, what do you guys think of this? Because like the way our practice was set up was everything was just recording all the time. We would just come like sit down and be like, all right, we're going to do some drum parts now. Here we go. And we go through more. Let's do some guitar stuff. Harry, stay quiet. Let's go. And it was just a really fun process.
It's fun, but it's nerve-wracking because when you know you're being recorded, you don't play like you play when you don't think you're being recorded. You know,
you do eventually.
Yeah,
you just gotta keep.
You have to after a while. Like I mean, we tried to use the vocals of when I was playing, but I wasn't hitting in the right spots, you know, of where I wanted it to be on a record. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up doing the vocals completely separate. You know, I was just hearing the music, and it turned out. I mean, there's some spots, but it's got to go Friday. Got to go Friday. You know,
gotta go Friday. I'm excited to hear.
If it doesn't go Friday, then I'm gonna sit and be like, listen, this part needs to be high. You know, volume up. You know, but.
I'm personally almost never happy with any of my drum parts. Like I always find stuff that I'm always like, we used that take where I skipped but I missed the whole beat. Like I come in late.
I'm sorry, I have to stop you. I'm really glad you brought this up because you know what? I'm never happy with your drum parts either.
I thought it was just me.
No, I was thinking love recording with these guys. It's so much fun. Harry knocks stuff out so quickly. You know, it's like in practice, we'll have stuff pretty much consistent, you know, 9 times out of 10, it sounds exactly like this. And so we'll do a recording project and it's that kind of thing. But sometimes with those fills, with those, you know, the accoutrement that comes in there, that's sometimes where the magic happens. And that's kind of what you want to grab and put in the, you know, put in the record.
Now, Harry, on your set, is there anything out of the ordinary as like say a cowbell or a block? Or is there anything?
There's a rolling pad.
I've never asked a drummer that, like on the show, like when I have
a rolling pad.
Yeah, I have a Roland pad, and I usually sometimes for live shows play with a tambourine attachment over my hi-hat because I like I just like that little bit of a hit on the hi-hats. It really gives it that bounce sometimes if you got the bass drum going with the back and forth. I do have a Roland pad, but we haven't quite got to use it yet because like in my head there's this idea of like firing off loops and like all this cool stuff we can do, but then I always am just being like, guys, check it out. Do, 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 and I start doing like dubstep and like it's not usable. So I use it as
it's usable, but not
yeah.
not
I use it as a metronome right now, but
Yeah.
we're on the precipice. If we can just figure out how to use it effectively, then it'd be cool. But percussion wise, I change up my drum kit all the time.
Yeah.
I've tried to go from 2 drum kits smashed together to just a 4-piece as small as like the smallest drum set I can find, because like I just like all the different sounds. I like putting stuff on stuff and taping them together and cracking stuff and seeing what sounds you get.
I did see a band down in Charlotte recently that had there was a jam band, but they had 2 drummers, like 2 full kits, 2 dudes, just in the back, and but sometimes they played together, but it wasn't like it was just kind of like the beat, and it was almost like the other guy would get tired and the other guy would take over. It was interesting. But I was trying not to focus on that and just kind of watch the whole thing, because it was they had keys and they had everything. It was Donner Deads, the Donner Deads.
I feel like we're seeing a resurgence of 2 drummer bands, because I know for a fact the guy from the Black Keys is in a band where there's 2 drummers. King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. One of the live shows I saw, they got 2 drummers. So like, I don't know. I've noticed a lot of bands doing 2 drummers right now.
Yeah. It's interesting for sure. I mean, because it's like isn't one enough? I mean, I play drums sometimes. I have a kid. I have a kid here, but like I don't play it enough to say, oh, I'm a drummer. But I mean, sometimes there's more drum sounds in the room, especially a small room, than there is like amps. Like the amps have to crank it, and then everything's just like,
Mm-hmm.
you guys.
So there's that later with Jules Holland, where it was like this English guy. There was a performance with Franz Ferdinand where they brought out a shit ton of floor toms.
Oh no!
And like a lot of people came in, and it's one of my hands-up favorite performances ever. But that's just the drummer and also the percussionist, because I happen to be a percussionist in another band. But like, I get it. But like, I think you can do some cool stuff with it. Just don't do the same beat at the same time the whole time, right? Like
when you guys hang out together when you're not practicing, I'm sure you do. Go out, get something to eat or something. Do you sit there and tap on the table and they tell you to stop?
Or I'm saying something that I got a thing I thought of, and they tell me to shut up, or like I'm looking at Nathan, and just something he's done has angered me, and I've like decided to address it, and like,
oh no, you see, so it's a band meeting all of a sudden at the restaurant. Right?
Yeah, basically Nathan walks on thin ice around me, because like he's a really good guitarist, but he can be lackadaisical sometimes. So you gotta nip him in the bud, and then he's like
lackadaisical during meals.
Yeah, like sometimes
that we share.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're eating with Nathan, he starts eating the burger. I'm like, I didn't say you could eat that, and like, and you gotta reset everything, and you got like it's.
That sounds comical, actually. Something to watch from afar. Like, what are they doing?
Trust me.
I usually go by Logan's laughter and my laughter that I'm getting inside my body, and Nathan's laughter too. Because if we're all laughing, then we're all having a good time.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you guys work together at some point. What do you guys do now? My question used to be, when I used to ask this question, I haven't asked it in a while, but my question used to be, are you guys rock stars 24/7, or do you have a day job? Of course, everybody has a day job because it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
The business is tough. If
we are rock stars. We are rock stars 24/7.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can skip.
We're
just rock stars of different industries. Me and Logan do construction together, so sometimes we're the rock stars of drywalling, the rock stars of.
I'm gonna say, what do you build? Do you build things? You build like houses?
In the last 3 years of me being at the company, we've worked on a lot of different things. It's hard to really pin down. Sometimes we're doing additions, sometimes we're demoing a place.
What's the most awkward thing that didn't make sense that you had to still do? Is there anything?
Oh man, that'd be the shit pipe in the front yard over there. So
Oh.
they had a sinkhole, and we went
no.
remedied the sinkhole, no problem. Packed it full of gravel. Sinkhole was still there, so we had to dig down through the gravel that we packed down.
Oh,
We had about a depth of 10 feet, and then found the sewer main where the break was.
yeah.
But the thing was, we called a plumbing company. Plumbing company wouldn't touch it.
Well, no, that's hazardous materials at that point, I guess, right?
And yeah, so we're all wearing these Tyvek suits, and we're all suited up and everything. And
Clean
There's-
suits and full face masks, and we're down there. And I think the culmination of the events was when Nathan pulled up we were moving buckets, and the mud down there is just caked with human.
What? That wasn't mud. That wasn't mud.
It wasn't mud. No, it's
That was
human
not-
filth.
about
And
5%,
we're-
5% mud.
So he pops this rope up out of the hole, and it's got this little carabiner hook on it, and it goes bloop, straight in a parabolic arc straight into our foreman's beard, and it just grabs into his
no.
beard, and he's just like, "Oh!"
I'm
That's what
glad
he
you got
gets.
to tell that story,
Clutch-looking
because I
motherfucker
had
who-
that story ready to go.
he is man. We truly love him, but yeah, he's quite the character, and Nathan, he will never forgive you for that. I hope you know.
I got another one waiting for him when I see him next.
I just
I thought you were going to just spell it here.
Yep.
But, and Nathan, I believe, is a screen printer. So Nathan's making those
Yeah, that's what you're
t-shirts.
doing these days, right?
You print screens?
Yep. Been printing T-shirts lately. Yeah.
I need a t-shirt
Big
guy.
economy thing.
I could use a
Yeah.
t-shirt guy. That's
No,
Everyone
um,
can.
on merch.
Yeah,
I
check
spent way
it
too
out.
much money on this show without I have no sponsorships or anything, but I don't do it to make money. I do it to meet awesome people like you guys, awesome construction workers that work in
Oh.
shit.
That was the worst. Yes, to the worst.
On the bad days, sometimes we get to like build a cool porch. And you're like, this is a cool porch I won't get to enjoy. But it looks cool.
Well, hey, somebody else gets to, and you did it for them.
Yeah. And then they remember me every time that I can come back as a 90-year-old and be like, I built this porch. And they're like, we're calling the cops. So like,
Please leave. Please.
Yeah, what are you doing here anyway? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He said he was in a band a long time ago and was out of his mind.
yeah, you ever heard of the Maplewaves?
Yeah. Not the Maple Leafs, the Maple Waves. You know?
We're still
Hey, at
calling.
least we aren't getting any questions about being a Canadian band, because that's usually the first thing we get asked.
No, I mean, if it was the Maple Leafs, I would definitely have a lot of questions because that's also a hockey team, and you would think that there'd be some kind of copyright thing going on there. But
We would get our asses beat.
where did you come up with the Maple Waves? 'Cause, it has to have something to do with syrup, you would think. Is it?
you would think.
We're sweet fellers, We're
Trying to
sweet
make
fellas.
conversation,
No, but yeah, you're right. It should be about syrup or something Canadian but honest truth, I was like 15. I was bored in church, and I was listening to bands like Iron and Wine, and I think there was another one like Oak and Whale or something. I don't know. But anyway, a lot of the names were similar, and that's what we were trying to be like 2009, 2010. And so I was like, somehow Maple Waves came about.
It
And then
almost sounds like a ska band. No offense.
awesome. I mean,
Okay.
I like waves and waves and
I mean,
maple.
I guess
I mean,
ska's more of the. If you were the Maple Tones, I guess we could say that.
Mhm.
Or,
Yeah.
See, I was
No,
gonna say,
no.
shouldn't we be like the mustard waves? Because like that's where my head went. I went
Right.
mustard plug.
it's what it is. It's about the Canadian coastline. That's what it is. The coastline.
Which coastline?
Canada has coastline.
There's several.
So much.
So
Like
that's
the
why
Pacific
and
Northwest.
that's where Maple Waves came from.
Yeah, it's Pacific
That's
Northwest.
the story that we're coming up with
Oh,
on
okay.
Acute Mania Live. That's where
That's
the story
the
generated.
official meaning of Maple Waves right there.
It's
Yeah.
canon.
So this is a canonical episode.
Canonical.
If we do
yes.
any other podcast, is that a canonical episode? So is
A?
that like, or do we have to come back here? Is this the only universe we exist in now? Like, are we trapped here?
I don't.
Is this what you've done? Are
You
we
can
your
make-
We are
100
trapped
first
here.
victim?
I didn't do anything. Too bad. Trish isn't watching. Trish is from Nova Scotia, which is in Canada.
right?
Ish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Too bad she's
I've
not
heard of that.
watching because she would have. I'm sure she would have said something about that.
For me,
Yeah.
the Maplewaves is like so you have like the color spectrum, and your red and your yellow and your oranges are kind of on the
There's no
lower
maple
end.
color though, unless
Well,
Crayola.
red,
It,
red, and orange and
Greens.
yellow. Those leaf colors.
like
They're
fall.
on the lower end of the
Foliage.
spectrum. I kind of
Foliage.
always thought we were a little more mellow than harsh. So
I
that
think
was
I
kind
think
of always
it's
what I
jive.
went.
I think the music is jive. It's awesome. It's
Thank
awesome.
you, sir.
It's awesome
Thank
in
you.
its own genre. Whatever genres are so hard to pin anymore. I hate even asking genres. What do you think genre you're in? It's so hard to nail it down.
Well, see,
It's your own
I always
thing.
ask people what they would say, because to me as a musician, it really doesn't matter what we want our sound to be, right? Like, I
How
don't
you
know
would
if
define
we've
it?
ever set up a song to be like, oh, we want this to be a psychedelic indie rock song. Like, it's just like, no, we come up with music together. So when someone asks me like, what genre do you play? I'm like, I don't know, you have to hear it. Or, you heard it, what do you think? Because I don't really know how to ever answer the question, because it's like, I don't know, what did you get out of it? Because that's what you think it is, right? Because I
Yeah.
can't tell you what you want, right?
Yeah. By the way, Harry, you have a terrific virtual background on your Zoom.
No, that's just me in my car, and
Oh.
it's getting colder and colder. And
Turn the car on. By all
There's
means.
icicles
No,
forming in
'cause
your
it'll
nose.
Yeah, we can.
kick in
There's
my-
some kind of stuff going on. Yeah, it's in your beard too. I don't know
Yeah.
whether you're spitting on yourself or what's going on, but yeah.
It's all frozen.
You're actually
Oh.
you're not the first person to be in their car. Okay, you're the second.
Damn it! Oh, what the? I gotta get out of here.
You were the second.
Always number two.
Yeah.
Never the first.
Especially when it comes to somebody's yard when they got a sinkhole. Comes to number two.
That's right. Oh, good callback.
That's where I can do that thing.
Yeah.
Yay!
That totally threw me off. Oh yeah, well, the first guy to be in his car, the electricity went out in his house. He was actually in like central New York is where he's at, and he lost power because there was a big thunderstorm. It was in summertime, and so he went out to his car, and he wasn't even the guest. He was just I think it was like my 1 year show or something like that. He just came on just to say what's up. But he actually, when we lost him, I was like, oh, well, talk to him later. He actually went and got in his car and called me back on his Zoom thing and did the rest from his car. The entire rest of the show. And I was on there for like 2 hours. It was a long show.
That's that fan loyalty you want, man.
It is. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Was it Car Seat Headrest? Was it that band?
No. I believe it was Patrick from Atticus Finch. They're from Central New York.
Atticus Finch. Why does
They're actually because I started the show on Facebook, and when it took Facebook 6 months to realize I was playing copyrighted music, so once they figured that out, I jumped to YouTube. Atticus Finch was episode 40, and that was the first show on YouTube, and it wasn't very good because the sound wasn't working and there was some hiccups, but it was still a good show. And they were all there was like 7 of them, and they were all on separate cameras, so the whole screen was filled with people on different cameras. It was awesome. Like one guy was in like LA and shit. I don't even think they play much anymore, but they were good. It's kind of like punky, kind of like emo punk.
Okay.
Emo punk. I don't know.
I'm probably the most emo out
I
of
talked
the
to Patrick
band.
in a while. I need to hit him up actually. He had that long COVID. The where he was sick for quite a while, and I think he was doing better the last time I talked to him. Did you guys get into that? Did you get sick from that stuff?
I did get sick, but I am fully vaccinated, so it wasn't really anything.
Yeah,
It was just like a
From what
flu.
stuff? Sick from what stuff?
COVID. Did you ever get the Rona? I guess.
Oh yeah, the Rona. Yeah, I
you
got
get
the Rona.
Yeah.
Only
we all-
once though.
There was
Yeah.
that time we had that Rona sharing party where we were like, well, if we all
What?
get it early, and then we were like, well, if we all get it early, we'll be
I
fine.
wasn't invited
And then
to
so
this.
we no, only it was us, just us three. We went out, found it, which was easy, of course, and then just got it, because once you find
90s
it, you
kids,
get it.
man. We're
What?
90s kids. What do you want?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
actually.
they said
I'm actually
chicken pox
80s
sharing
kid.
party.
I'm actually an '80s kid, but I think I like to say that I'm a '90s kid. That way, I don't seem as old.
Respect.
I am an '80s kid. I played with 2 '90s kids.
Oh, so yeah, okay. So we're in the same. I went to the dentist today, and I was talking to the hygienist about silly putty because they had to do an impression of my teeth, and it looks like
Right.
silly putty. Do you guys know what silly putty is?
Yeah, of course.
What it originally was intended for?
No. Of course not.
Do you know that, Harry?
Yeah,
Oh no,
I don't know that.
Because like that's usually how those questions go. It's like, oh, what do you think silly putty's for? It's like, oh, it's a child. So it's like,
What do you
actually
think it's
not
for,
a
Harry?
Human experience.
It was originally designed for transferring Marmaduke cartoons. Bloop, bloop.
It's true. You can detail a car with it, like an inside of a car, like a.
Probably do
like
a crap ton of stuff with it. But she I guess she has kids, younger kids, and she said, I'm not even going to bring that up this evening about silly putty because they're going to just ask me, where do they plug it in to charge it? Because that's true. Kids nowadays, they don't know anything other than something that's electronic that they can stare at and put their fingers in, and I don't know.
Have you seen the electronic putty though? It looks pretty cool.
No.
It's like
Pretty
that
bad.
black ooze, and they say they run like magnetic charges through it, and it changes shapes and stuff like that. It looks pretty
Sounds
like
fun at all.
symbiote. Like it looks
Mhm.
pretty
That
crazy.
that doesn't sound fun because it's like a stick.
No?
It's like a stick outside. When I was growing up, we'd go outside and pick up a stick and we'd have fun with it. Just wave it around or something. But now they want to put like microbes and chargers into. No, that's
Harry
ruining
wants
the
to.
stick. You're ruining my stick.
Oh,
man.
dude. I have been a proponent, and I still am, and will always forever be. And I'm happy to say this on the podcast where it's all to be known.
Hey, you
but
can say whatever you want on here. I
I
do.
propose a new human Olympics where we are allowed to alter the hell out of the human body.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking bionic legs.
Oh,
Take all the medications. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you faster. Like
What?
just go.
take
go
Xanax,
nuts.
but also take Adderall at the
If
same
you want
time.
to,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have
Oh
the
yeah,
freedom
no,
to.
we've talked about this. We're both huge advocates for the augmented Olympics.
Yeah, the augmented Olympics where people can be what they want to be.
This should be the name of your next album, The Augmented Olympics.
Oh,
I like it.
All right. Stop this podcast. Stop it. Stop it. I can't.
TF,
Don't let it out. Don't let it out. Don't let it out.
I've already told my people they've got it protected for you.
You're gonna rename your single.
You see a person in the back seat gets up and starts garroting me, and I'm like,
We're going to get canceled yesterday.
Yeah. Since we're talking about wieners. Oh wait, we're not talking about. Wieners.
oh.
I was trying to
Well,
segue
if you
into
want.
that. It didn't work out very good. But
I was gonna
we
try
were-
and block it.
we
since
were
I forgot
thinking-
I forgot on the last episode to play the wiener song, so I'm gonna do that before we
Please.
get into this. This is my father. They were in Hawaii recently, and I forced them to be on the show, and because they always watch, but well, supposedly they say they do. But my dad does a when we were growing up, me and my sister we were growing up, he would always do this song called "The Weenie Man." So my sister was in the chat during the show that I had my parents on a couple weeks ago, and she said, "Have Dad do the Weenie Man song." I was like, So I took it and I put it on my sound pad, and my mom's in this too in a certain part of it. But here it is. It's called the Weenie Man.
Frank
Ready to
it.
go?
No, a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells most anything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll join his life and be
His
his
weenie wife.
hot dog. I love that weenie man.
Okay, so that's the song.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like how minimalistic the recording was. Was that on purpose?
Well, I mean that was on the show, so I just took the recording off the show. And
Oh,
just-
gotcha. No.
He didn't know I was going to do that until I did it, and it was on the next episode. But anyway, the wiener segment is actually supposed to be called the hot dog segment, but since Mike, my roommate, doesn't like to be on the camera or do the segment himself, I renamed it to the wiener segment because it's hilarious. He doesn't like that at all. He thinks it should be the hot dog segment because he's a lover of hot dogs. He's a hot dog person. He will travel for wieners. I have to
What's
say that
the
because
furthest he's gone for a dog?
I don't know, and we'll never know because he's never on the show. You know,
What's the furthest
He
he
will-
will go?
only
for a
so
dog?
you can
he will
pass
chat
on my
from the
question.
couch. He will chat from the couch. But see, it's a delay.
Okay.
It's better off if
Right.
he stood in here just for the segment. I will even talk. And I even told him, I said, I have another microphone. I will give you a microphone. They don't have to see you. Can't even get that.
Can he hold up with the number of his hands? Like, could
I
he
can't see him
show
at
you,
doorstep.
and then you could tell me the number? Could you do that way?
I don't know. We'll see if he's watching.
Okay.
There's so much latency on this. I mean, it'd be better if he was just standing here, just for 5 minutes. You know,
Just for once.
because every time when the show's over, you know, and he'll have a question about somebody's answer, and I'm like, I don't know. That's why you need to come do your own thing.
Because you're expected to do all the heavy lifting. That's unfair.
Everything.
You really should
I'm
have.
expected to do
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
But I figured I would switch it up a little bit tonight. So instead, I usually ask, you know, what do you like on your hot dogs? You know, what toppings do you like? We'll do you know, where to go in Pittsburgh. Where do you guys think to go in Pittsburgh for a hot dog is? Just because that'll give him another place to try if he hasn't yet. Because I've had several answers for Pittsburgh, but I thought we'd switch it up a little bit. And this was also from Mike because I talked to him. I was like, let's switch it up since I've had some Pittsburgh guests on, and so he suggested pizza. And I'm not talking about Domino's or Papa John's, you know, things I can get here or things we can get anywhere. There's a lot of good. There has to be a lot of good pizza spots in Pittsburgh because there's a lot of them. You know, when I go up and I stay in a hotel, you know, I look at Google Maps and, you know, look up pizza and there's a shit ton of them. So
yeah,
let's not talk about hot dogs this time.
Okay.
Unless you want to say where the best one is, you think?
Costco.
Costco, like the grocery store.
Yes, sir.
That's like saying Sheets. I did have somebody say Sheets one time.
Sheets
fuck,
is
I was gonna say
also
Their chili is
good.
gone.
No, Sheets pizza is not good. I don't think Sheets has.
No,
pizza
not
first
pizza. Sorry,
No,
we haven't talked
hot
about pizza yet. This is just hot
we're-
dogs.
Yeah,
Let's talk about pizza.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
talk
all right,
about
straight pizza.
pizza.
We're in Pittsburgh.
Pizza.
I'll be up there. Let's see at the end of March to see.
All right, before anybody else says anything, let me
Where's
tell you about where you need to get pizza in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Caliente Pizza and Draft House. They
You have to say
are
it like that.
evidently they're the world champion. They went to the pizza competition in Italy a couple of years ago.
And Vegas.
And Vegas, and they won it both times with their Quack Attack. If you like mushrooms, I hear it's the thing to get. But it's got duck meat and mushrooms, and I guess.
But
I'm
they
guessing
only make like
my surgery-
35 a day or some shit like
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
like one of those weird ass pizzas. But Caliente's is good. Man,
Caliente's is the bar to beat. Beat it.
I'm
Beat it.
also gonna say Calientes, so we can just leave it at Calientes if you want.
no,
for the band.
I'm gonna
Harry,
fight against
what you got?
Caliente's.
Here's
No.
got one. He's got one.
I would say I would probably go Gennaro's over a Caliente's.
No,
Kelly,
what are you talking about?
Vaselli Pizza, which is just a pizza chain, I think. They are pretty good. But Pizza Parma can go to hell. That's where you don't go. You don't go to Pizza Parma. Pizza
Hey, you
Parma
want to talk
will
about
try to
bad
kill
pizza?
you. Pizza
We can tell you
Parma.
bad pizza places
I
all
don't
day
care-
long.
Once again, I don't care who knows it. Pizza Parma will actively try to kill you if you eat their pizza. It's in their like small terms. It says it right there in the small print. I saw it.
Why is it like spicy or something? You know, 'cause usually
Just
say,
awful, dude. Like it. Imagine
awful.
every taste you don't want.
and they're still
And you-
open.
Imagine every taste you don't want.
Yeah, and imagine seeing a
That's what he
pizza
said.
and going, "This smells like a regular pizza," and then you bit into it and you go, "Hot garbage." How'd they do that? It's like it's weird.
Oh yeah. This is so good. It tastes like it's this is close to garbage as it gets. Yeah.
Is that a gorgonzola? No, the cheese went bad a week ago. We don't care.
Oh.
I don't care. I shouldn't say that about Pizza Parma. They're gonna try and come after me hard now. But like,
No, they're gonna come after me because I don't know.
no, you're not supporting. It's my opinion. The
Okay.
opinion is not the opinions of the Maplewaves, just the sole opinion of a drummer. There we go.
And
You know,
a cute
Pizza
man.
Parma got some real
I mean,
hard
well,
people working for them.
I will meet Pizza Parma in an alleyway at night to settle the
Whoa.
Swinging pipes,
franchise.
breaking kneecaps.
Fighting words right there. Some pizza fighting. Some pizza.
I'll show
fighting
up with a fucking Pizza Hut bulletproof
Your
vest.
cheese is bad. Your cheese is bad. Blah blah blah. I don't know. So you said to Calientes, right?
Yeah, Calientes is great.
I don't like
the hot
mushrooms, though.
sriracha. They got the hot honey sriracha pizza. They got grandma's pies.
Do they have a
They got all-
pepperoni pizza? Damn it! I just want a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, they
Man,
got
they
a
got a
regular
double pepperoni.
pepperoni.
They got a double
Or
pepperoni.
all pepper. No, I am the ham and pineapple guy. Every once in a while, like maybe twice a year, maybe even once a year. I'm not. But the it's like spinach and chicken and feta cheese and some like the white pie, like the white sauce.
Mm.
Okay, so you wouldn't
Yeah, it's a
be
good
excited
time.
for, say, a Nashville hot chicken pizza, because I know a place that does a good Nashville hot chicken pizza.
No, I'm not too into like spicy foods. I take heartburn medicine, so it's kind of like
So that's a no go.
it doesn't even neutralize it. It just takes it completely away from that I've even taken anything. Then I have to like, I'm an old man. Remember, we went through this.
Yeah. I can't do spice like I used to, but I used to get the spiciest every time. Like any level was always a 10. Everything
You
was
do
always
those challenges where they like you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or a wing place and they have the hottest of the hot. Can you do that and be fine? Nobody can.
I never liked the taste of blazing wings, so I never did the challenge. If they would allow it with mango habanero, I would have done the challenge, but it was a blazing challenge. So you had to do.
I'm gonna come up there.
Harry's fine.
I'm gonna come up there. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna go somewhere where they have the hottest. I'll let Logan and Nate pick it. Where they have the hottest of the hot of whatever of wings
and Caliente's has the hottest wing.
Sweating. No
I
milk.
will say that Caliente has definitely the hottest wing. If you're looking for the spiciest wing,
I'm not personally. No.
The cry to mommy wing at Caliente's
sounds very very. What's the word? You know what I'm talking about.
Bad.
Sexual.
Bad for everyone.
Sounds very sexual. Yes, Logan. Yes, I agree. Well, since we're still in the segment, for the end of the segment, where's the place that Mike needs to go for hot dogs in Pittsburgh?
Costco.
For hot dogs, you got to go to Frank's down on Penn Avenue.
I was so waiting for you to say caliente. You know what I mean? Because Anyway.
Frank's is the dirtiest, nastiest joint you'll find in Pittsburgh, and that's the place to go, man, for sure. That's down on Penn Avenue, in the Strip District, just up from the Strip.
I'm sure they wash their hands at least.
No.
Oh,
they have a sign in the
where
bathroom
the flavor
that says
comes from.
employees must not wash hands.
And my recommendation is get a half-eaten one off a homeless man, because they usually know where the good ones are. And if you get it away from them, then it's yours, and then that's what you can have.
Yeah. If you can conquer them.
Yeah, that's the sweetest hot dog.
You got to slap
is
and
a hot
grab.
dog.
Slap and grab.
But you got to come from behind, and where they're not gonna.
A hot dog taken is a hot dog earned.
Hear that, Mike? Hear that, Mike? Motto of the year.
A hot dog taken is a hot dog earned, especially from.
Giver of Sleep is a little bit a longer song. Is it okay if we kind of play some of it?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll run out of time.
You can cut it down, whatever you need.
The conversation's been caliente or something, and it's it's been a great conversation tonight.
But has it been cry to mommy, huh?
No, not. I don't know. I'd have to really look back in the. I don't know.
Few more jokes that could have been.
In the chat, you know what? I would like in the chat right now, if anyone's watching and chatting, to say "muy caliente" and just keep "caliente" being a spice word for the chat. A spice word for the chat. Is that what that is?
Tonight's spice word for the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, and be sure to get the promo code Acute Mania Live 20% at caliente.com.
Yes, for $2 off your pizza.
$2.
They have they have the acute pepperoni pie. If you say I would like acute pepperoni pie, please, they would make it for you.
Yeah, that's $2 off your pizza, $30 off your blowjob. But blowjobs only cost $20, so they're gonna give you $10.
Now, there's a lot of fine print in this too, audience. There's a lot of fine print.
So much fine print.
So much. There's more fine print than you have time to even put under a microscope. Or something.
By the time you're done reading it, you're old, and
now
we've all moved on.
Is "Giver of Sleep" a song that should put people to sleep? I don't think it is because I've heard it, but why is it named this?
That's a loaded question.
So the whole album is kind of a reflection on frustrations of life and the fact that we all live through the storms of life. And, God puts us through all kinds of things, ups and downs. And a lot of times those things are dark and what have you. So the earlier parts of the album, Hate the Rain, are about how frustrating life can be. and this song is kind of a response in a way of saying, "Hey, those things are real, and frustrations are."
Oh no!
I think Logan's phone died.
That's when we can go like
Yep.
this.
Oh no, Logan's gonna have to join Nathan because he's not coming in the car with me.
So,
I'm
somebody,
I'm not sharing my phone with him.
somebody's got to pick up where he left off. Shall we go?
Talk
Well,
about
let's
it.
go ahead. Let's go ahead. Oh, there. What happened? Your phone died.
So we're talking about those things are they're real, but ultimately those things are meant to be in our lives and to shape us. And those things are there at a given time for a given reason. So,
That's dedication right there. Phone dies. Boom. Right to the next phone and finishes the sentence. That's the shit. That is the shit. Well, here is "Giver of Sleep" by the Maplewaves,
All right.
not the Maple Leafs, the Maple Waves,
Oh, funny.
and the album's called "Seeds That You've Sown." And here is "Giver of Sleep." We'll listen to some of it, and then we'll let the audience go listen to themselves. You know, I think Harry just froze too, but
I'm here. I'm still here.
me and Nate are good. Me and Nate are not frozen, so
That's right.
Giver of Sleep. That's just terrific. There's so much going on in there. Is there and now that your phone or your camera is pointed back, there's a Roland back there. Is that utilized on a lot of your stuff?
Not this one. That one's new actually. That we're messing with. Nope. It was really a lot of DAW effects and then our amps and
Yeah.
Logan Logan has a synth that he messes with, Korg. But yeah,
What kind of chord?
it's mostly guitar. He has a right over. Actually, it's not. It's the red one, and it's a
Oh, I know,
bass like mono synth that he powers the Fat Tar with, which he plays with his feet.
Nice.
It's
That's
kind of fun.
interesting. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a
kind of like an organ pedal, like a bass organ pedal.
I dabble with Moogs. With I have a DFAM that I dabble with, and that'll be on the track on Friday. If you
Nice.
guys have like 5 minutes, well, after we kill the live stream here in a little bit, I'll play a little bit of it for you as a special treat of our.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. That'd be sweet.
I don't really have
Have
anything
some for the
coming
Easter
up
egg video.
within the next week. I do have a show coming up on the 25th with a band called Less Than Zero. They're from Central PA, like St. Mary's area of Central PA. I don't know a lot about them, but
Gotcha.
I had Eden on Fire on a few weeks ago, and the bass player was watching, and so that's how I got that set up. It's kind of it's like a punky kind of horror rock stuff. It's different.
Mhm.
It's different. It's really cool. So I'll talk to them on the 25th. 8 o'clock, I believe that show is. Might be 7. I can't remember right now.
Nice.
Let's see, which is a Saturday. That's a Saturday night. Mike finally chimed in. He always does the eyeballs, like the eyeball emoji where it's just 2 eyeballs.
Mhm.
He didn't do that. He chimed in with LOL. So I chimed in with the eyeballs, and then he sent the eyeballs right back.
Classic Mike.
Classic. So I guess he heard where to go to get a shitty hot dog. You know, or, no, I mean a good hot dog. That's what I meant. Okay.
If he hasn't been going to Costco, there's no hope for him. You'll never find it.
I mean, I don't know where he's been. Like
It's like $1.50 for the biggest hot dog you'll ever eat,
you would think. I mean,
and a soda.
you would think people would be flocking there like crazy.
You don't even need a membership. You can get in through the other entrance and then get out.
Logan's trying to get back into the meeting. Should I let him in?
No.
And
I think I'm also trying to get back in the meeting over here just to see if I can get in.
you're already in the meeting. You're there, right there, right there.
Am I?
Yeah, there you are, trying to get in. It's going to echo like a son of a bitch, but that's okay.
No, it's okay because I can fix that.
Let him in. Let him in.
I'm back, baby.
What?
I'm back,
I don't see you.
but I'm here.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Ta-da! I don't. That's one of the. I don't have that. Dun, 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 dun. I don't have that on there. I do have this. Welcome back, Logan. Oh, there's Harry. Everybody's back.
Everybody's back.
Baby got back.
I just got to be careful about how loud I speak because I think I'm close to Nathan. So
No,
now Nathan can go out to
Just
the
speak
car.
over him. Just speak over him, and everything's good. You know, he doesn't know.
I'll just be over here in my corner where the drums aren't set up yet.
What do you guys have coming up next that people can come and see you play? I need to come and see you play. Apparently, I missed Club Cafe recently, but what do you guys got coming up that I can come up and boogie to your all stuff? Because I will boogie.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
I believe this year we are doing Pond Jam. We're trying to get something in the works for sooner. But sorry, no, it's not Pond Jam. That we are doing a thing called Pond Jam, but Millville Music Fest is probably the next time that
I've never been to that. I try to go every year, and I still haven't.
You would really enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
too much
honestly,
music. Like anywhere you look, it's great.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. I think that's if you really want to experience like Pittsburgh music, I think either doing Deutschtown or Millville Music Festival, that's the place to do it.
Yinzers is a big thing. Is it only Pittsburgh? That's only Pittsburgh, right? Yinzers. There's a band I had on called Gloomer. Oh, by the way, that last song, it's got a little shoegazy kind of feel.
Yeah, for sure.
I just kind of gathered that just by listening. It's different when you listen on cans than it is just through a speaker. That's all I've listened to. But just like listening on my headphones, it sounds a little shoegazy, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
they used to call it that back in the day.
Gloomer's from Pittsburgh also, and they're kind of shoegazy band, and
Yeah, no, I've seen them and they're really good.
they are good, and they're really nice guys too, really cool guys. You guys, you should hook up. I'll have their people get a hold of your people.
Yeah, definitely. We're always up to play with as many people as possible. Really, I don't. I think we're one of those bands.
The Yinzers. Yeah, so Yinzers Yins is a big thing in I guess just Pittsburgh. It's not really a whole Pennsylvania thing, but I did hear of a Yinzer festival, and nobody's been able to nobody from Pittsburgh has been able to confirm that I know I've heard that. Like I didn't come up with that because I'm not from there, but like I've heard that or seen that somewhere. There's a Yinzer
Fest?
like a music festival. Yeah, it's called like the Yinzer Fest or something like that.
I mean, I'm sure there's something called a Yinzer Fest where it's like people call like Little Italy Days Yinzer Fest, probably. Like I've heard it used as like a that place is really Yinzer Fest. Like it's
you guys
like
say Yins? You say it at all?
I'm from South Africa, so no.
What do you say in South Africa? I don't know.
Just whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Yeah, I've tried to adopt yins into my parlance.
It seems like it doesn't seem like it's very prevalent anyway. I mean, with my event,
I say y'all.
Well, y'all is everywhere, but yins is really it's really a Pittsburgh thing.
It is.
But sometimes, as soon as you hear the accent, sometimes you got to drop a yins here and there just to make them feel
just
comfortable.
To fit in.
Know?
You got to do that to fit in. You know,
it's important.
Are you guys are you and Nate from Virginia, or you just live in Virginia and you?
I'm from Virginia. Nathan's from I think Pennsylvania, but a different part.
Well, really, I grew up in Cleveland and then lived in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or close to there, and then moved down to Virginia, and then now I'm in Pittsburgh.
Why are we looking up at you? You're not the man. No, I'm kidding.
Are you?
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting episode to watch because I think we can only see who's making noise. So I think some of us are moving around when we think we're not on camera. But there's
it's hilarious. I can see all of it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's gonna be a lot of really good clips. It's gonna take me a while to get through this and chop it up a little bit and come up with a good clip. But everything was awesome. It was very nice meeting you guys tonight. And
you too.
I'll meet you in person soon. I'm not very far from there, and I'm always up there. Let me know when you're gonna be playing soon. Even if it's not soon, just let me know, and I will put it on my calendar and make sure that I'm there.
I will be sure to tune into some more shows. This is really fun. Thanks for doing.
Yeah. Come back on the show. Come back on. Let's do this again. Let's talk about hamburgers next time. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything.
I think the next thing we have potentially, I'm gonna say it's penciled in. May 15th with actually sunny days back at Club Cafe. We're working on ironing out the details for that. So not a promise, but a.
It's not May 15th, and we'll see it. Yeah, we'll announce it.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll even put it up on my Instagram and stuff. That way, people know where to go.
Cool.
When that happens, though, we need to do a sunny days. Sunny waves. We call it sunny waves.
Sunny waves.
And we'll do a live in person chit chat about
like 10 people on or 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do 5 per people on 10 different cameras.
Right.
It's called a battle royale.
Yeah. You guys worry about playing the music. I'll worry about the production.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Yes, stick around for like 5 minutes. I want to play a little bit of our stuff that's coming out Friday to see what you think.
Man.
Playing us out of the show tonight is a band that I don't know anything about. Hopefully, I can get them on the show and learn everything that they like on their hot dogs or pizza. Where to eat pizza in England, but they are from England, somewhere in England, and they're called the Blood Republic. And this song is called Dust. And I don't know when I'll have another show, but I do know I'll be back on the 25th for sure. So I'm not going to change the marquee to anybody. I'm just going to change the 1 to a 2, which is easy.
There you go.
So, thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon. We'll hang out. We'll eat pizza or something together.
Definitely.
So.
Hell yeah.
Here's Blood Republic with Dust. Have a good night.
See ya.
What happened?
Do it.
Play it.
I'm sick of never feeling on it, but my mind's been going supersonic. There's something about the way you crawl that makes me wanna see it all. See it all. time.